I don't know, man. Today I want to talk about self-esteem. I want to talk about times in my life where I got this huge self-esteem jolt, a buzz. Self-esteem is very addictive. It's very dangerous. The kind of self-esteem I'm talking about. Some of you may have had moments in your life where you had this huge self-esteem jolt, huge buzz, going all the way back to 1971. I was obsessed with baseball. I made up a dice baseball game. I would announce the games into a tape recorder. I kept scorecards. I kept all the statistics. I read nothing but baseball biographies. I knew all the statistics. I knew Joe Torre's MVP season 1971 when he had 230 hits and 137 RBIs, batted .363. And my fifth grade teacher noticed how obsessed I was, and she heard me answering questions from the students about these baseball players. She actually had me go up in front of the class, and students would ask me questions about these players, and I would just rattle off these stats. And I remember I got an applause. And wow, it was like, that meant a lot to me. For those of you who don't know me, in my emotional life, I'd say I'm a little kid who just loves public validation, which is kind of like a substitute for adult approval. I don't like that about myself. That's who I am. So that was 1971. Huge self-esteem jolt from getting that applause in the fifth grade. Go up to 1973. I'm at Earl Warren Junior High School, and I joined Lou Crook's Olympic weightlifting class. And Lou Crook, he was a great guy, man. He drove a Porsche. He had a beautiful girlfriend. He had a yacht. I don't know where he made his money, honestly. He was a junior high school PE teacher who also coached Olympic weightlifting. I don't know what he did. I don't know. I don't know how that plays out, man. But he liked me because turns out I was a quiet kid, hard-working kid, and I had what I call thunder thighs. So, you know, first week in Olympic weightlifting, all my 12-year-old buddies are barely able to squat 100 pounds. And I'm repping 200 like it's nothing. And people are just staring at me, and Lou Crook is impressed. And I got a huge self-esteem jolt out of this. I became number one in the nation in the 148-pound class. And, you know, self-worth, self-esteem, buzz, blah, blah, blah. That was 1973. My weightlifting ended when my father took me to see the movie Pumping Iron. And when I saw Arnold, something happened to me. I had to be like that. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a watch dude. And looking at Arnold in 1976 and Pumping Iron today was the equivalent of me gawking at a Seiko MM300 blue dial. And I've been thinking about that lately. I'm actually thinking of selling a couple of my very nice Seikos to minimize my collection and get that MM300. If you're not into watches, you don't care about that. But the effect of seeing Arnold in Pumping Iron, you know, this huge larger-than-life experience, it was such that I remember in 1976, I was training at Walt's Gym with a fireman bodybuilder. He was a fireman, and he was entering Mr. California. And I was working out with him, and he told me he saw Arnold in it was either a bodybuilding contest or he was at the contest posing just in an exhibition. And he said, when I saw Arnold, I saw the Lord God standing before me. I saw the Messiah. And you know, I was a young kid, I was 14, and I knew that this fireman wasn't being literal. I knew he was being hyperbolic, but I understood his point, that there was this transcendent experience, this larger-than-life experience from watching Arnold, who had all this charisma. And I think for those of us who crave self-esteem, and I'm one of them, I wish I wasn't, I think we want to compensate for having that effect on other people, being larger than life. And so that was about 1976. And you know, I always thought about self-esteem in that regard. And so what I want to say is, intellectually, I think most of us are smart enough to know that public adulation as a source of self-esteem it's ineffective. It doesn't address, our broken inner spirits, our broken inner selves. I think, people who are watching this, myself, we know that intellectually, but emotionally, a lot of us, not all of us, but a lot of us still have that emotional thirst, that emotional drive. It's weird being a human being. A lot of times your intellectual tract and your emotional tract, that they're on separate places, and the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. And so we know what's good for us. We know that a life of integrity and contentment and living our life with integrity the best we can is a better answer to sanity and inner health than is a life craving public adulation for self-esteem. Having said that, though, I've always been that little kid who wanted to be a famous novelist, a famous writer, a famous comedian, a famous piano player. And here's the thing, man, I'm modestly talented. And I know people who are far more talented than I am in piano playing, comedy, writing, and some of them are barely making it, just as Uber drivers, working at Starbucks. Some of them are homeless. And so, I always try to console myself by saying, well, you have a livelihood, you have medical benefits, you're doing okay. So you shouldn't, crave this thing that's a stupid holy grail anyway. That's not going to do anything. And yet, that I have that in me, and here I am, slogging through life, making. I make YouTube video essays, and I do play the piano. God, I love the piano. I write a new song about once a month, but then I have to perfect it, and so it takes another 6 months for it to grow into what I need it to be. I don't know where that comes from, but it's there. So I want to end this discussion by telling you I have two friends, John and Jeff, and they amaze me because they have a complete indifference to public adulation and a desire for the kind of self-esteem that comes from public adulation. Both are professionals, both make good money, both have a lot of independence because they're so smart, both are voracious readers, both are frugal with their money. They don't even buy books, they check them out at libraries. They're not into watches like I am. I would say they are some of the most brilliant people I know. If I had to guess, I'd say their IQs are both over 160. I know Jeff's might be 180. He's insane. He got bored. He was my office mate, and he got bored. He just went to Mexico one summer, learned fluent Spanish. A year later, he was practicing immigration law, and he retired from his teaching position. And I admire them because they don't care about what other people think, that they're not active on social media. I wish I was like that, honestly, completely indifferent. One thing I will say about them, they're somewhat misanthropic. If anything, they disdain public opinion. Some of us, though, we do have that desire, and I think one of the signs of maturity is that you can't try to be who you're not. I'm never going to be like Jeff and John. I mean, the world is made up of different people. I have that little kid in me that likes public approval, that still remembers the buzz of the 5th grade, the buzz of being thunder thighs in the 7th and 8th grade. And then I think all you can do is take your weaknesses and learn to laugh at them and learn to embrace them in a way, but don't let them get the best of you. And so I wonder what kind of person you are in the Self-Esteem Buzz camp. Do you get the buzz from a little bit of public adulation? Do you deep down have those fantasies of public adulation? Or are you like my buddies, Jeff and John, and you have complete indifference to public opinion? Hey, if you're that way, you're free. And I admire you, man. Tell me what you think, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time, I'm out.